Good evening, brothers and sisters. Yes, I've got a recorder now. Pray for me, brothers and sisters, that I can get what I've got out of the way. Things keep coming and they keep distracting and they keep taking up my time in the day. And I simply just love to read the word. I wake up with the Lord. My time with him is just the same as it's always been for 51 years. And I just want more, okay? So pray for me. Hold me in your prayers, please. That things will become complete, or finances will come that I don't have to do them myself. Whatever. Whatever. I don't mind either way. I don't mind doing work, but I miss doing this and getting the gospel out. If I haven't said it, which I haven't, the channel is about the promotion of the gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ and the advancement of the kingdom of Father God. If you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord, if you believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you are saved. That is salvation. If you keep these things in your heart, do not turn left, right, back. Do not go to any other religion or any other god or false image. You worship Jesus in your heart, and he will come in with you and dine with you. But I'm talking tonight, the tribulation is a 7-year period of time and the end of human history written in Daniel. It is coming, okay? But for those who are studying eschatology or on the borderline of studying eschatology, I want to just work through some facts about the tribulation written in Daniel, okay? In Daniel 9:24, a period of 70 sets of 7 has been decreed for your people and your holy city to finish their rebellion, to put an end to their sin and to atone for their guilt, to bring in an everlasting righteousness, to confirm the prophetic vision, and to anoint the most holy place. We know what that is. In 9:25, now listen and understand. 7 sets of 7 plus 62 sets of 7 will pass from the time the command is given to rebuild Jerusalem until the ruler, the anointed one, comes. Jerusalem will be rebuilt with streets and strong defences despite the perilous times. And in 9:26, after this period of 62 sets of 7, the anointed one will be killed. You see? After the period of 62 sets of 7, the anointed one will be killed, appearing to have accomplished nothing. And the ruler will arise, whose armies will destroy the city and the temple, and the end will come with a flood of war, and its miseries are decreed from that time to the very end. And then in Daniel 9:27, the ruler will make a treaty with the people for a period of 1 set of 7 years. But after half of this time, he will put an end to the sacrifices and offerings, and as a climax to all terrible deeds, he will set up a sacrilegious object that causes desecration until the fate decreed for this defiler is finally poured out on him, the Lord's second coming. So there's often misquoted, the scriptures divides into that. So let's read on a bit. He says 77, and it equals 70 weeks of 7 years, okay? 490 are determined for your people and your city, the city of Jerusalem, and he gives 6 reasons for the 490 years. Things to happen within 490 years. To finish the transgressions, to make an end to sin, to make a reconciliation for iniquity, to bring everlasting righteousness, to seal up a vision and prophecy, and to anoint the most holy. In other words, after 490 years, those things are going to happen. Then from the decree to go out and build Jerusalem. Then he breaks down the 490 years into 3 parts. There is going to be 7 sevens, which is 49 years, and there's going to be 62 sevens, which is 434 years. And a total of those 2 is 483 years. And then 1 7 years when the Antichrist confirms a covenant with many. That's why I was saying, that's what we're looking for to the start of the tribulation. with Israel for 7 years, 1 week. That begins the last 7 years. 483 of those years have been fulfilled. On March the 14th, 445 BC, when Artaxerxes of Persia declared that the Jews should go back and rebuild the city. We know about this. Remember, Gabriel said to Daniel, from that time there is a decree from that time, a decree to go back and build the city, and until the Messiah, the Prince, there will be 483 years. It took the Jews 49 years to go back. Okay? That's the first part. So Gabriel said there is 483 years between the time of the decree and the Messiah cut off or died, but not for himself. We know that. He did it for us. That's 173,880 days from the time of the decree to the end of those days. Did it happen? Yes, it happened. That happened. Okay? This is why I'm saying to anyone wondering, are we talking nonsense or are we talking to? We're talking out of the word. For those new to the channel, the tribulation is about to happen and the church is about to be raptured. Why am I 100% sure about that? Because I'm 100% in fact that all the prophecy so far in the Bible, to which there's 90% been done, at least, came true 100%. No other person, prophet, false god, or anything has done that. From the decree on the 14th of March 445 BC until the April the 6th, 32 AD, that's when Jesus rode into Jerusalem on the colt, was 483 years from the decree. From the decree, to fulfill the whole part of that thing, of that period of time. So 483 years of the prophecy has already been fulfilled. Of the 490 years in the prophecy in Daniel, there is only 7 years that haven't been fulfilled. The tribulation. That's what we're looking for. And we know now. We know now where we're going. So in Daniel 9:26, after this period of 62 weeks, the anointed one will be killed, appearing to have accomplished nothing, and the ruler will arise, whose armies will destroy the city and the temple, and the end will come with a flood and a war. Its miseries are decreed from that time to every end. That happened 70 AD. When the Romans destroyed the temple. What we're concerned about is Daniel 9:27. The ruler will make a treaty with the people for a period of one set of 7. That's 7 years. But after half of this time, he will put an end to the sacrifices and offerings and the climax to all his terrible deeds. He will set up a sacrilegious object. That's the image that we bow down to, that we will not be bound down to. That's the mark of the beast. That causes desecration until the fate decreed for the defiler is finally poured out on him. That's, I believe, going to be in 2029. But I don't know. But I'm going to share why I believe it's in 2029. We are currently in a Shemitah cycle at the beginning of a Shemitah cycle, 2022, okay, to 2023. That's a period as laid out in Leviticus of 7 years. There is, I've worked them all out, but I haven't got the figure, it's over there. We're probably in the 450th sabbatical Shemitah cycle since it was written in Leviticus. But we'll call it from 1948. We're on the 11th. But it doesn't really matter. The 11th Shemitah cycle from when Israel became a nation. Okay, which is very interesting. So we'll look at this for you. Everybody's familiar with this now. September 2022. Okay. 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. 7 years. This will be a sabbatical year thrown in here in 2029. Okay, so we have blood moons, which represents Israel. These things are for Israel only, in my opinion, and certainly from historical facts, we found out that major things happen on a blood moon for Israel. That's what it is. But in between here, which I do not know much about, but either in 2024 to 25 or 25 to 26, disputable time period, because the Jews have not accurately kept a record, or one that we know of, is a Jubilee year, or Jubilee of 49 years, okay? But we'll not go into that. We're just looking at this as pure interest, because in 2022, there's a lot of stuff happening, which makes it a very high watch. If this is the potential end of human history as we know it, then when does the bride go? Which is a very interesting topic. So I'm going to get up the graph of this year, as we've seen it so many times. Then one more time is not going to hurt. Okay. So this is 2022, and it's loaded with stuff. Not to mention that Israel's 74th birthday. Okay. At this point, they're not, they were 1948 was their birthday. Then they wouldn't be one till 1949. Okay. So just bear that in mind. So it is the 74th birthday, perhaps the 70th, 73rd. I don't know. But we're approaching the time when it might fit into tribulation. I don't really hold to that being the generation. I think more that when the fig tree, when it loses its leaves, then that is the time. So I think that's maybe, but we'll not go into that. That's a different one. I'm just finishing this video off, rounding it off, because we have on Palm Sunday, we talked about that when Jesus rode in. Okay, we have that, which is in April the 10th, according to the Gregorian calendar. That's why I bring astronomical events, which we're told to look up for signs, seasons, and festivals. The sun, moon, and the stars. Okay, that being a mighty star, which is an asteroid, is coming in April 21st. Then we have 7 days later on Pentecost, we have the eclipse on the 30th of April. Blood moon on May the 16th, round about a birthday of Israel. Okay, as a nation, that is. And we'll not rule out the back end of the year, because if we're not gone here, guys, then there's still something going on here. I won't say. I do not know the day. I do not know the hour. But I know we're in the fig tree season. That's for sure. So a lot's happening around Rosh Hashanah, which we'll go into. And we'll fill this whole year out as we go. But again, I ask you to pray for me that the Lord will provide a way where I can sit at this desk and just study. I do spend a great deal of time with the Lord, but not as much. I'd like to spend all my time with the Lord. And I know that's not physically possible, but things are happening. So do keep me in prayers, brothers and sisters. But I hope that made a lot of sense. I just thank you that we can get back to some videos. I will be continuing with lives, but the videos take much longer and they're scripted. There's a lot of work goes into this, so do pray. Pray, please. But don't forget at this point to pray for those in the Ukraine, that we'll see what's happening in the world. But we're in wars, rumours of wars. It says we're not at the end yet. Well, how far away is yet? That could be 2029. Okay, that's just guesswork. It's just guesswork. As I say, always, I do not know. I know we'll know when we hear the trumpet and the voice of the archangel. The second coming, for those who are new to anything to do with tribulation, the second coming is when Christ's feet touch down. Jesus returns to the planet. The rapture is where Jesus comes and takes us to the clouds. Okay, we meet him in the air. Okay, he doesn't touch down. So I'll clarify that. But I'm going to leave you with, may God bless you, keep you, make his face to shine upon you, and be gracious to you this day and always. I'm getting a bit rusty at this. God bless.